The Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, has launched a new campaign designed to help men challenge their friends if they feel they are being sexist or misogynistic. Backed by comedian Ramesh Ranganathan, the campaign will encourage men to say mate, spelt with 3 A's, to their friends if they cross the line. The campaign includes an interactive video. Viewers can hit a mate button if they think the characters are acting in a sexist manner. Let's take a look.
Reviewed. Oh my days. Is that a bird running the line? So what, now I've got women telling me I'm wrong about football as well?
That's untrue, bro.
What do they know about the game, man?
Did you not watch the Women's Euros? It's pretty decent.
Yeah,
It's
pretty good.
Yeah, for a laugh. That stuff's a joke. Mind you, some of them players are pretty fit, though.
Joining me, sorry, I can't keep a straight face. Joining me to discuss this is the journalist and author Ella Whelan. Okay, that's actually the first time I've seen that. And you have to press the button when someone says something problematic. Now, you know, as a woman, do you feel this will solve the problems of casual misogyny in society?
Absolutely. I mean, forget about any kind of law change or anything like this. I can't even actually bring myself to say the word mate like that. It is so cringe-inducing.
It's so cringeworthy, isn't it?
And, you know, I mean, if we want to be serious about this, if you look at the website that accompanies this video, it goes through, it's like treating men like they are morons, like they are worse than, less intelligent than children. It's kind of in baby language saying, you know, misogynistic behaviour are things like people calling their ex-girlfriends crazy, and you know, which isn't even true. That's not what misogyny means, but it is like it's like interference from the authorities for dummies.
Yes,
it's incredible. And, you know, what it will do for women is nothing, number one, most importantly. But actually, I think it might even have an effect of it trivialises where problems are. So if it is the case that men are, which some still do, are saying misogynistic things to you on the street, having someone turn sort of jovially to their friend and go, oh, mate, it's not really a proportionate response.
I mean, this is an interesting thing, isn't it? Because the kind of people who do engage in casual misogyny, they're not going to change their behaviour on this kind of basis, and it's weird to think that they would.
No, and well, this is the thing. So Sadiq Khan and his team's theory, and this is what they say on the website, is that words are the first step towards
the slippery slope kind of thing.
Yeah, bad behaviour, criminal behaviour. And so they say, you saying, like that clip depicted, that women are bad at football or that women are, you know, are less than men in some way, is a hop, skip and a jump to the things that happen to, for example, Sarah Everard, and that we have this spectrum of male behaviour which starts with banter and ends with rape and with rape culture.
Isn't that policing humour, though, to a degree? Because sometimes people are just joking about these things, and there's no way it's going to lead to those sort of atrocities.
Well, it just isn't true. It is not true that having, I don't know, even I struggle to even call it outdated, just silly discussions about women or you know, people joking around or kind of whatever you want to call it, male banter, is not a red flag for someone taking an act against a misogynistic act against women. That's a serious issue. We know that actually it's this ridiculous fallacy that that men who commit crimes or do terrible things to women are just falling into that behaviour because they're on this slope, that they don't really know what they're doing. That's actually a really dangerous way of looking at why somebody rapes someone, why somebody abuses someone. But it's also this sort of, you know, Sadiq Khan as London Mayor has ticked off a lot of Londoners for his failures. OK, lots of people vote for him. I don't like him because of what he's done with the ULEZ, what he's done with, you know, getting around London even on public transport is a nightmare. Crime in London's a problem. The list goes on. What he likes to do is interfere into Londoners' private lives, because what this campaign is actually saying is that the London Mayor has business telling you how to interact with your friends, has business telling you what to think about women. That's ridiculous. And I don't think any self-respecting Londoner would listen to him or would take any advice from someone who, one, they don't know, and number two, clearly hasn't spent much time with young men recently, because that caricature is not the kind of young men I know.
It's interesting because there's a video doing the rounds at the moment of him in council being incredibly rude to women and cutting women off and, you know, arguably being a bit misogynistic, so maybe you should look more closer to home.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. It's, you know, how we police behaviour or police is the wrong word. How we change people's behaviour, you know, because I don't think anyone would sit here and say, everything's fine for women, you know, particularly in a city. You won't encompass any problems. Shut up about it. There is still an issue of some men, few of them, actually they tend mostly to be sort of older, you know, maybe a bit behind the times, come out with stuff that is, you know, irritating, I think, to put it mildly. How do you change that? Do you have a pronouncement from City Hall that says that everybody who watches this online campaign should do this and we should all feel nervous about each other and police our speech? Or do we actually have more interactions with each other? And I think that if you want to talk about how we change sexist behaviour, it's going to take women and men having free-flowing conversations with each other on the street without the sort of policeman from Khan or an actual policeman breathing down your neck. But also, I have to say, you know, the to and fro between men and women has never been so fraught. And the reality is that, particularly in the realm of sort of sexual and romantic relationships, banter, which is a word you can't use anymore, performs a certain kind of function, which is, we used to call it flirting, which is you take the mick out of each other, everything's informal, you push and shove, and a lot of the time it turns out well. You know, you end up going home with someone or in a relationship. And I think the more we make people nervous about that interaction, particularly young men, I mean, who would be a young man these days? Yeah. Where you're just constantly worried about who's going to put what you said on Twitter and you'll be destroyed forever. Yes. Giving more young men a complex about that kind of thing isn't going to do anything for sexism. It's just going to make them more sort of socially constipated, which I think is a terrible thing.
So it's not that there isn't a problem with a minority of men committing acts of violence against women, but that's a separate problem to what Sadiq Khan is trying to encounter here. I think Khan is trying to win a sort of brownie point for saying I am doing something, you know, with a capital S for women. No women. I wait to be proven wrong. I don't think there has been a massive campaign from female Londoners for him to launch this kind of action. I certainly don't think any men want his advice on how to interact with their peers. This is a classic kind of a politician doing something to look like he's doing something, and he's been constantly going on about misogyny in London for a very, very long time. He clearly hasn't been out on the streets of London recently. The sort of thing that happened to Sarah Everard or Bieber Henry and Nicole Smallman, that is absolutely rare. If you want to talk about sexism and violence against women, let's talk about things where it happens, like domestic violence. Let's talk about what you're just talking about with Shara Ali, you know, how women are being silenced online for holding, you know, valid political views. This kind of stuff is insulting to women, but I think most importantly, it's really insulting to men. They're not idiots. They're not horrible. They are not, you know, with every breath insulting women. It's just, I think more men not need to say mate to Sadiq, but shut up. OK, Ella Whelan, thanks very